Hello Horde and welcome to Big Dig with John. Today we're going to be looking at Minechem again. Last episode I showed you the basic machines and how they worked. Now today I'm going to be showing you multi-block structures that you can make in Minechem. First you're going to need the blueprinter, which I showed you how to make last episode. If you didn't watch last episode, it's a bit like harsh telling you to watch it. So this is a recipe for the so this is a recipe for the blueprint blueprint projector. So yeah, like I said last episode, I'm going to show you how to do this. Since this version of Minechem isn't very clear, so what you do is you craft the blueprinter. Then you need to trade with villagers or find. Oh my god, there's a pigman over there. That's weird. Never mind. So then you need to trade with villagers or find him dungeon chests. These two blueprints. Now the two blueprints are Direwolf's 9x9 structure, and the other one is a fusion chamber. Now the Direwolf 9x9 structure I found in a dungeon chest. It tells you what it needs. It needs 272 stone and 16 glass. This recipe, if I have a I don't actually have a block on me. I don't actually want to fall, so ooh, wow, I keep pressing E. So I'm gonna just take this piece of dirt here before so I don't die, and place it there. Now this basically has no purpose. I've crafted it, and that's all the blocks I needed. So like I said, it needs 272 stone and 16 glass. 272 stone is this structure, like this bunker, and the 16 glass are in the roof. This has no purpose, so I wouldn't actually waste your time trying to make it. Now the next thing is the fusion chamber. This one actually has a purpose. How you get it is basically just trade with villagers and you'll be able to trade a fusion chamber. Now, it needs fusion wall and tungsten plating. These are both made with chemicals. So you make a fusion wall by crafting lead and iron into a recipe. So I'll show you to make it. This recipe is very easy and it gives you 16. So the easiest way to get lead, like I said last time, is by using soul sand. You can also get it through cobblestone, but soul sand is a lot easier to get from. It has a lot higher percentage, and it's just as easy to get as cobblestone, if you think about it, because cobblestone has a lesser chance. So in like 16 stacks of cobblestone, you might only get a bit, whereas in like 2 stacks of soul sand, you might actually get just enough. So, like I said, you need 3 lead. To the left and right of the lead, you need an iron ingot. Make your 16 fusion wall. For this recipe, you actually need 181 fusion wall. What that looks like is it looks like 64, 2 stacks of 64, and then a stack of 50, 53. I don't want to actually put these together because I made it 100 just to make it easier. 40. So yeah, 53. So that's what it looked like. It looked like basically 3. You need pretty much 3 stacks of fusion wall for this. Now the other thing that it says you need is 241 tungsten plating. Now, how you make tungsten plating is from tungsten, beryllium, and tungsten. Now, tungsten you can get from, I think basically you can get it from, is it stone still? I think you can still get these from stone. So it's a lesser chance, but it says, look, metal, so tungsten is probably in iron. I'm not going to actually pretend I know what I'm talking about for this. I should have checked these two. I'm a bit annoyed that I didn't. But my building's only over there, so I can quickly check to see if it is actually in iron and... it is actually in iron and all the other ingredients. So let me just quickly gather my book. Here we go. Book. Let's have a look, see if tungsten is in any... Oh, crap, I've got the wrong book. Where's the other book? Here we go. So, oh, well, beryllium was actually in soul sand. So, soul sand, you can get the beryllium from. I should have probably checked this earlier. So, beryllium, which you need let me take this back up there. Wow. Like I said, beryllium you can get from soul sand. You could probably get it from other things. And as far because it is an alkaline earth metal, that probably you can get it from soil. A very rare drop, I'd assume, because it says earth soil, so that is what I would assume. I'm sorry I didn't actually check that, but it says definitely in soul sand. So probably it's higher chance in soul sand, since soul sand's a slightly bit rarer. And the tungsten, I'd assume, is in stone. 10%, let's see if it changes. Tungsten, it should probably change. So iron, okay, this is annoying. Tungsten's got to be in here. Nope, iron. So yeah, I'd assume stone. It's a shame that this is not going to do it any faster. So yeah, iron. Magnesium, tungsten, I'd assume tungsten. I just wanted to check. I did check this. Titanium. Did I see titanium or did I see tungsten? That's a... Lead. Nope. Sodium. Oh my god, chlorine! As if. So, I didn't actually find out what I needed, but stone actually is how you get chlorine, which you can use to make the outfit that I'm wearing, the hazmat suit. What? Why do I not know what tungsten? I knew what it was a second ago. I checked. Oh, I don't know. I'll quickly have a look for you. So I'll be right back so actually you can find out what tungsten is, because it's a bit tight me not telling you when it's a video actually teaching you. So yeah, I'll be right back. Hello, Hod. I'm back. So I checked items, and the two items that you need to create the item to create beryllium is soul sand, and the item to create tungsten is netherrack. Netherrack has a 10% chance of getting you tungsten, but obviously in the nether there's lots of it, so don't worry about that. And soul sand has a 20% chance of getting you beryllium. That is the two things. I'm sorry that I forgot them two things. I did actually check before this video, but it passed my memory and I didn't want to just guess. I thought I'd actually tell you how to do it. So this is how you make tungsten. Yeah, this is how you make tungsten plating, sorry. So you need beryllium in the center. At the top, put tungsten, and at the bottom of the beryllium, put tungsten. And then to either side of the beryllium and tungsten, put iron ingots. Make sure 16 tungsten plating. Now, like it says in the recipe, you're going to need 241. So I've put it like this because it's easy to see 100. I like to put it, if I'm showing stuff, as 64 and 36 because obviously that's 100. So it's easy to see how many I've got. So yeah, for those of you who haven't realised, the blueprint actually doesn't come with the blueprint. The blueprint is a separate thing, and you just basically place it in there and it'll tell you. I've actually already built it before because I had to check to see if I could actually make it first, and it actually works, and it actually does work. This machine. So what this does is that the fusion chamber, well, basically the blueprint will show you a wall of the item in this version of Minecraft, and basically in this big dig mod pack, nothing works. So usually in the proper mod pack, you'd be seeing pieces of tungsten and pieces of you'd be seeing tungsten plating and fusion wall faintly, but in this you can't see it at all. As you can see, it's just clear blocks. So it's quite difficult. This shape indicates the area of which it's going to cover. So I'm going to actually go through it bit by bit and show you actually how to make it. It's going to be a boring video, but it is quite difficult to make on this mod pack simply because you can't see it. So I'm going to be teaching you easiest way to do it. So basically, once the blueprinter will show you an outline far away, but as soon as you get close to it, it will assume that you can see the actual block. But actually, I can't actually see it on this mod pack. So what you do is you'd highlight over the area. So this where you can see it. So the best way to do it is, best way I did it was see this area, see the outline, go to where you see the outline, and basically just start. You'll still see the now and again like spazzing out like that. but you'll always see this like black outline. Now if you right click, it will take the block off you. As you can see, if I'm really quiet now, when I click this, you can't actually hear the breaking noise. So an easy way to realize when you've done something wrong is when you hear this. When you hear that bash noise of a block placing, that means you've done it wrong. Okay, so basically what you do is the first wall is just all fusion. Is it fusion wall? Yeah, it's just all fusion wall. So this is a 5x5 grid of a 4x5 grid, a fusion wall to start off your fusion chamber. Then as soon as you place that entire wall, the next layer will pop up. Now this, if I can remember, is fusion wall as well as tungsten plating. So first you're going to need to put 2 layers of 4x4 of tungsten wall. Then you're not going to need tungsten wall again. Crap. You're going to need fusion wall again. You're going to need tungsten plating. So the bottom is fusion wall. There you go. Then this side is fusion wall, fusion wall, fusion wall. Hopefully it's easy just to watch than me explaining it. And then in here, I'm guessing it's going to be tungsten. There we go, right clicking the tungsten. And then the center might be, no, this is another wall of tungsten. Okay, so as you can see, I'm going to, every time I build a wall like this, for each section, I will pause for like 5 seconds so you can see the actual pattern. And then you can copy it if you are doing it. So obviously, like again, oops, that's wrong. Another good way of noticing when you've done something wrong is that it will place it in front of it. This blueprint machine only allows you to place it layer by layer, so you can't skip layers. I'm going to show you also what happens when you break something after you've made it. Actually, this is tungsten, sorry, I keep doing that. So yeah, this. So it goes 3 fusion wall, then it's going to go tungsten, 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 5 tungsten, and then I'm guessing 3 fusion wall again. There we go. Oops, no, that's tungsten. Sorry about that. It's hard to remember what I've done. So the outer layer is always... Oop, nope. The outer layer is pretty much always fusion wall or tungsten. No, it's always fusion wall, and the inner layer is always tungsten pretty much. So there we go. So now I'm going to pause 5 seconds and show you the pattern. So this is the next pattern. So it's like an L shape at both sides, a fusion wall, and then it's 2x2 tungsten. Try and not think of the back wall. It's 2 3x3 columns of tungsten. No, two columns of tungsten that are 3 down. Then it's 5 tungsten across the bottom. And then at the other side is also 2 columns of 3. It's also 5 columns. It's also 5 tungsten across the top. Now, what happens when you break one is you can't actually break the ghost. So if I try and break it, it won't actually let me break it, even if we're in creative mode. But if I break it, it suddenly goes back a layer. So don't worry if you accidentally break it. So now I'm gonna right-click there again. So you'll notice a pattern occurring, like this tungsten. It starts to try and make some sort of strange circle. Even I can't actually remember the pattern, so it's better just to right click and trial and error it. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just right clicking, and every time I get it wrong like that, it obviously comes out. Or if I did it wrong now, oh god, it hit me in the face, it would also make the block placing noise. So here we go. Is it tungsten across the top? Yep, tungsten across the top. Tungsten there. Here we go. So that's the next layer. There's the next layer. Okay, so now I'm going to show you the next layer. Oops, did that wrong. It actually does sometimes show you it, so it isn't that glitchy, but it is pretty glitchy. Sometimes it will show you the tungsten. I've noticed it twice now. Here we go again. Oops, I've run out of tungsten. There we go. And then it should be... There we go. Oops, no. Did it... Wow. There we go. This is probably all tungsten. you'll be starting to notice a pattern suddenly as it going out one by one block. So here is the next layer. It's got like before. It seems to go, keeps with the L shape, shrinks the L shape a bit, but it still has like a row of tungsten lining the inner layer. So now I'm going to show you the next layer, and basically this layer is pretty much the same. There we go, tungsten across the top. There actually is in this one a tungsten column in the center. So I'm going to do the tungsten first so it's less confusing of what's actually happening. And then I'm going to do the fusion wall on the outer layer. Like I mentioned earlier, pretty much the fusion wall is the outer crust of the machine, and the tungsten is basically the inner core of the machine. Now, this layer is a bit more complex since it has this 3x3 this 3 column in the center. So here is actually this pattern now. It goes fusion wall in like an L shape, followed by 1 column of tungsten, then I think it's about 9, is it? Yeah, 9 tungsten plating across the bottom, 9 tungsten plating across, actually no, 8 tungsten plating across the top, another column of 3 there, backwards L. But as you can see, instead of 9 tungsten, at the top there is 1 fusion block, which is basically holding this column in place. Now I'm going to make the next column. Yet again, it's this same outer core of fusion wall and an inner core of tungsten plating. So basically, I'm just going to copy what I did last time, apart from I think the center changes yet again on this one. So yet again, there is 9 tungsten across the bottom. It has this L shape followed by, it has a 4, basically a 4 down by like a 2 L shape type structure, and then it's followed by a 3 column of tungsten. Now the top is different yet again, cause, oops, sorry, oh god, the top is different again because instead of 1, so as you can see behind it there's a fusion wall. The fusion wall actually goes there and there. Oh no, there. Sorry, there we go. Fusion wall actually goes to either side of the previous fusion wall. So the fusion wall goes to the left and right of the last fusion wall you placed, and then in the center. Oh wait, no, it's fusion wall again. Sorry, I didn't know that. So basically a 3 line of fusion wall. So 3 tungsten, 3 fusion wall, and then 3 tungsten again. Do actually, yeah, I do actually have more tungsten. There we go. And then instead of 1 column of tungsten, there's actually 2 columns of tungsten. Now, I'll show you this pattern. Oops. Oh god, I fell. Let's quickly jump back up here. So this is the pattern. And now, what it's going to do now is basically reverse the pattern. So this is basically the center of the machine. And now it's going to basically copy exactly what you've done on this side. So you'll notice the 1 column will go to, and it'll keep going in. So look, the fusion wall, like with the entire machine, is on the outside mainly. There's obviously a top cross that it will form eventually. So fusion wall on the outside of the machine. Oops. There we go. Let's just basically break this again. So it's a good idea. I like this actually massive multi-structure thing. It's good to note that you easily can tell when you've done something wrong, because basically if you right click and it doesn't place it within the area that is highlighted by the like faint black X, the faint black outline, you can clearly know you've done it wrong. As well as this structure isn't too complex. Oh crap! Now it's raining. Since basically it's always tungsten at the bottom, and it's pretty much always fusion wall on the outside, and then the inner lining is always tungsten. So yet again, it's 4 tungsten at the top. Is it? Yeah, 4 tungsten at the top like that. Like the not the previous one, the one before that, and a fusion wall in the center, and then a column of tungsten. I'll show you how that looks now. So that is what it looks like. Now you're going to notice that it's going to start going in, because it's basically going to form like a circle. It's basically a giant cylinder type structure. One thing to note is that you need to make sure that if you do accidentally break this, to place it in the exact same position, because it will always start the machine so that it ends just one of the blueprinter. That is something that you also need to take into consideration. So moving the machine is probably not a bright thing to do. So yet again, tungsten on the bottom, tungsten on the top. Now it's started to go back to its original pattern of tungsten on the top, tungsten on the bottom, and tungsten to the left and right, and just this outer layer. Now it's going to start going in by one, and then eventually it will just stop. So, oops. Fusion wall on the outer crust, and then in the inside, it's tungsten plating. If you're struggling to follow this, basically just pause the video and rewind it to see if you need to see. So then tungsten again at the top, and tungsten on the outside. Now, this is second but one, so it still needs this lining, if I remember rightly. This L lining. It actually might need a bit more. So yeah, now it's the tungsten now. I think this actually needs, yeah, it does actually. This one actually needs 2 layers of tungsten. And I'm guessing that there needs to be a bit more fusion wall. Yeah, here we go. So this layer is slightly different. Instead of 2 fusion wall at the bottom, it actually needs 3. Then it also still needs tungsten at the top and bottom. Here we go. Now, if I'm right guessing, the next layer should be the one with the 5x5 tungsten that you can see at the back there, right at the back. Probably mobs should end up spawning here, which is a bit annoying, but I daren't actually just add anything just in case it glitches. So this wall is the massive like tungsten wall. So it's the second but last wall. So you need to put it basically. It is 3 up by 5 across tungsten, and then it's like 2 across by 4 up of fusion wall. Then the bottom, instead of tungsten, now it is fusion wall fully, so there's not actually any tungsten on this bottom lining. Then finally you top it off. You finish it up with a 5x4? Yeah, 5x4 layer of fusion wall. And then now this will create a structure, and now when I right click, it has made the fusion chamber. Now the fusion chamber requires a nether star, which you get from killing a wither. Today I'm not actually going to do that because I can't be bothered actually killing a wither. And I don't want to spawn it into cheater. So what you do is you would put a nether star there, and basically you'd put the 2 elements that you want, and they will be crafted into a compound. For example, if I had, I'm just going to explain a few like recipes of it. If I had oxygen, if I had 2 hydrogen and 1 oxygen, it would create H2O. Simple as. If you had 3 chlorine and 2 hydrogen, it would make chloride. It would make 5 chlorine and 2 hydrogen. I don't actually know what that is. Then you could add like to your compound of 2 hydrogen and 5 chlorine. You could then add like 3 oxygen, so then it becomes 3 oxygen. Is it 2 hydrogen and 5 chlorine? I can't remember what I said. So basically, you can make quite complex elements and compounds. That's it for this episode. I've showed you everything pretty much to do with Minechem. Hopefully it hasn't been too complex. You basically use the machines in there to break down and analyze materials. Once you've found the materials that you want, well, basically you analyze materials in the microscope. Once you find the material you're looking for, or the element, or the recipe you're looking for, because obviously it also shows you how to synthesize the item. For example, if I have the soul sand, before I get really confused here, that recipe is the synthesized version, so I'd need 3 lead, 1 beryllium, 2 silicone and oxygen to make 1 soul sand. But in the decomposer, this will break down. It has a 20% chance of breaking down into them, and several other elements. So basically, what you do in this modpack, in Minechem, sorry, the Minechem what you do with the Minechem mod in Big Dig is basically you look at different materials, you see one you like, so say you wanted some lead, you break it down in the decomposer, you can make the material using the recipe that it shows you in the microscope to make the material in the synthesizer, so basically you stick the right elements in the synthesizer. To make compounds you basically use this machine, the chemical fusion chamber. So yeah, that's it for this episode. Thanks for watching. I know it's not very interesting, but you can actually make some really cool stuff. I like this mod a lot because it's basically like a more fairer version of equivalent exchange, because sometimes it's not a 100% chance, like it's 20% chance of getting these items. So it's not as cheaty, but you can actually still, so you can break down, so what I like about this mod really is that you can break down items into other elements and combine them into other things. So it's basically a less cheatier version of equivalent exchange. You get more, it's more fair. So it's not like a 100% chance of cheating, but at the same time you're not you can turn stuff you don't need into more useful items. So yeah, thanks for watching. Hit like or favourite if you enjoyed this. Hit subscribe if you want to see more content from me. But yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.